Well, good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. Several projects going. This is just going to be a fairly quick little update, I think. And wanted to let everybody know I have Atlas milling attachment Vise screws, the two screws that flea-based sellers try and get $20, $30, $40 for plus shipping. I have screws for both the 6-inch and the 12-inch. Got them in stock. These are ones that I had ordered that I said in the last little flea bay edition that I thought I had a fairly reliable source for a good quality screw, and I think these check all the boxes there. So I do have these in stock. They're already loaded to the website, and I made one little modification to them that I said I was going to make. On the ends, I buffed these off just a little bit. They're a cut point screw, which is the proper screw for on there. But every one that I've come across, and pretty much all the new screws that you get like this, they're just sharp as can be on here. And to put them on the, put them on a set of Vise Jaws, to press against the back side of them, whether they're for the milling attachments or whatever they be, they mar the snot out of them, whether they're aluminum or steel. So I just lightly buff those off, make them a little bit nicer for you guys so you don't wear out your Vise Jaws quite as quickly. It's still going to mark them, but it's not going to dig into them quite as bad as a standard just off the machine cut point. So 6 and 12 inches, they're there. I have a run of Vise Jaws for the 6-inch going right now. Actually 6 and restocking the 10 and the 12-inch Vise Jaws too. I haven't had the 6-inch Vise Jaws yet. I'm also going to do a short run of both of those size jaws in steel. Don't know that that's a real good option. I've had a couple of guys ask about them, so I'm going to go ahead and machine up a few of those while I'm working. It'll be a little bit before they're out because I'll run those through the bluing tank, I think, and just give them a little bit nicer finish and make them look a little bit nicer and resist corrosion a little bit. So anyway, they'll be coming. Several other things I've been working on for Atlas parts, but nothing that I've really got ready to share with you. As far as what's going on in the shop, of course, it's busier than snot. I'm kind of on a shop improvement kick, which I pretty much always am, but the weather's kind of getting a little bit warmer, so I've been working on several projects. A lot of projects this year are going to be on the milling machine. Still some things I want to do to that. We're going to put a stand underneath. I've got it blocked up because it was a little too low the way it came from Grizzly, so I've raised it up. I'm actually going to raise it up a little bit more, but I'm going to build a nice steel stand underneath it. That'll give me a little bit of storage that's I can put underneath there, and a few other ideas for that, but that's going to be one of the first things coming up. Vise stops, I've got some drawings done up for those. I'm going to do just a couple of basic vise stops for on the milling vise and on the table. Nothing that hasn't been done before, but just make it. I'm just trying to be a little more efficient. The coolant systems for the mill, I've got a couple of little Noga cools that I've had for several years. I've run them on machines. If you followed me for any time, you've seen them. You've seen them on the CNC mill, and I don't know if I've run it too much on this little Grizzly, but I ran it on the CNC mill quite a bit, and I've run one that I've bounced around between the lathe and stuff. We're going to improve those. We're going to go to a shop-built fog buster system. The Noga cools were really popular for a while, and they were touted as the thing. I'm not a great big fan. They, working off the Venturi effect like that, they just don't give a real good consistent delivery of coolant to your project. So one of these I'm going to relegate to my little bandsaw. It works okay there, and I'll probably bounce the other one around on machines until I come up with a better solution. But I'm going to do a shop-built fog buster type system. I've got some brass that I'm going to use for bodies. Now this is going to get, those are die hemmed up. These are going to get cut down. That's the finish you get off of a Superfly. The little Tormach Superfly. So it gives a really nice finish. That was cut with aluminum inserts in it. And I've got a couple of these blocks. I'm actually gonna cut them in half and then angle them. I think I can get 2 out of each of these blocks, and I've got a couple of them cut. So I want to put 2 heads, I think, on the mill is kind of the plan, assuming this works. And I've been gathering parts. I've got the coolant tank. It's sitting out in the shop, and fittings and hoses and all that stuff. One thing that is kind of interesting, and a lot of this is based off of James Kilroy did one several years ago that he had kind of mixed results with that he was putting on his mill. And I've seen several other guys do it. One of the big things that seems to be a problem for some of the guys is coming up with a valve, a metering valve to go in there. What I'm going to try, and it may not work at all, is I'm going to drill and tap the body itself and attempt to use a needle valve. And this, you guys that have followed me for any distance, you know I'm a Harley guy. This is a Harley needle valve. I got the valve, the spring, the seals, the whole 9 yards. They're about $10 on Amazon. And I'm going to find out if they work. You know, I don't see any reason why it won't, and it'll alleviate that problem of having to track down an expensive valve and having the extra complication of it screwing in and the extra stuff sticking out there. So we're going to give that a try. It may not work at all, but I figure it's worth a shot. So when we get on that project, we'll video that and see how it goes. Other things going on is we've been playing with CNC on some parts. I'm thinking the CNC lathe may get upgraded. I'm thinking about changing control boards on that and changing controllers. We may go to an Acorn system. I haven't decided yet, but I started investigating that. You know, I've had good luck with both my little CNCs. They run real well and everything, but they can be kind of finicky. And I'm running them both the mill and the lathe on Mach 3. I think it's a good system. I think it's kind of outdated now. I contemplated just upgrading to Mach 4, and I'm not sure that's the best option either. I think I may invest a little more money and put an Acorn system on there, and then if that works all right, why we may go back and put servo drives on there, or servo motors on there. So we'll see what happens. Everything's always open for change. So that's kind of the main things that are going on in the shop. I did shoot a little unboxing the other day of a future project, and I may throw that on the end of this and let you guys just watch it. It's nothing spectacular. It's a little rotary broach kit from Hemingway Tools in the UK, and the unboxing itself is not a big deal. You know, I don't very often do that big a deal on unboxings. I'm not that great a fan, I don't think, of doing them. But and you guys have seen these kits before if you've watched some of these other YouTubers that have built them. And the thing that impressed me about the whole thing, and I think I got a little excited about it when I shot that unboxing video, is the service and delivery time from Hemingway Kits was extraordinary. I mean, they did a great job on that. I ordered it one day, the next day it was shipped and made it through customs there in the UK. The following day it was already here in the US and in New York, I think. And it sat in the U.S. for a couple of days before it actually made it to me, but within 5 or 6 days it was here, delivered by the post office. And you know, our postal service sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. I use our postal service quite a bit for shipping stuff out because it's, right now for the things that I ship out, it's about the least expensive way, but sometimes it can be less than stellar. And I was really impressed that it made it here as quickly as it did. It came in real good condition and everything was fine with it. So that'll be an upcoming project too. So that and maybe one or two of their other projects they've got, or other projects kind of in the works. We've been doing a little bit of gear cutting, setting up for gear cutting, and we'll see a little of that here before too long. And that's kind of what's going on in the shop. I've lots of projects, lots of Atlas parts. It's all just a matter of getting it done and moving forward. So one other thing I was going to share with you, and it was talking about Atlas milling machine arbors. Not directly related to Atlas milling machine arbors, but we've been watching those on Fleabay. And you know, the last Fleabay edition I talked about the new manufactured arbor that an individual was building there, or had built one of, that I believe it already sold. I just wanted to make a comparison about how out of hand some of this stuff is, and how the prices have been driven up by us allowing them to be classified as vintage and collectible and rare and all that stuff. I was sitting going through Fleabay last night for no particular reason, but I was looking at Kearney and Trecker machines, and I came across with no less than 4 arbors that were for sale in different sizes. Now, normally when we get into the bigger machines, I kind of discourage people from some of the bigger machines, because even though you may be able to get the machine cheap, the tooling is tremendously expensive by the time you outfit that to be able to actually utilize it. In this instance, I looked at least 4 different arbors, came across at least 4 different arbors, which are all obviously quite a bit bigger than the Atlas arbors, BT 50 tapers, things like that. And out of the 4 that I came across, and like I say, there was at least 4, the most expensive one, including shipping, that I came across was $240 or $250. So we can get an arbor that is quite a bit larger, quite a bit more substantial, got quite a bit more material in it, for a whole lot less than we can buy a 12-inch long Atlas arbor. So, you know, pays your money and takes your chances, but that's something we're stopping and considering. Is these guys are trying to get a tremendous amount of money for these Atlas parts, for used Atlas parts. And as I said before, I think that $300 and some price tag on a new manufacturer, if it's properly machined and properly ground, I don't think that's out of line. But when they want $200 and $300 for a used arbor, I think we're kind of getting ripped there. So anyway, just something else to think about. Alright, normally don't do these, but this is a real quick little unboxing video. Just got a little package in the mail that I thought I would share. Going to be a future project, and I just wanted to give a shout out to these guys because delivery was really good on it. So let me bring you down here so you can see, and we'll open this up. Got a box here. Came from Hemingway Kits, and a couple of books and their Rotary Broach kit. So pop this open and see what it looks like. Now, the reason I took the time to do this is I was very much impressed with their shipping. Now, I ordered this on, I think, the 16th, and this is the 21st, and it came rolling in with the U.S. Postal Service, which is actually almost kind of a disappointment because they're always slow. But anyway, this traveled through the system exceptionally fast. Looks to be perfectly well packaged. There's the paperwork for the Rotary Broach, and I'll sit down after we've opened this up and I'll just go through it, and then we'll get back. We'll use this as a project to do. Looks like we got some bearings there, and we've got a couple of books. I think it's probably the only couple of books they've got, and then the rest of their pieces. Now, evidently this is empty. Looks like our steel's floated loose in there, but very well packaged. You know, cost-wise, you can go on their website and look, but delivery service was absolutely excellent, I thought. You know, they shipped it out almost immediately when I ordered it, probably by the next day. And then, so it looks like there's all the pieces right there. They shipped it out the next day. It went through customs over there, or through their export, whatever process they go through, and then made it to the U.S. by, I think, the next day. So it was only 4 or 5 days shipping. We've got George Thomas's Workshop Techniques down here, and then we've got the other one. We can get into it. Which is his Model Engineer's Workshop Manual. Both of these are ones I didn't have in my library, and we know I'm a book guy, so we've got them. You know, you have to figure the shipping in to make it worthwhile to get everything here. So that was an order. I was very much impressed with just their delivery service, how quick it got here, and how easy it was. You know, so it's a done deal. So anyway, when we start this project, or when we got something else to share, well, we'll come back. Anyway, hopefully you find it a little interesting. Comment, suggestions, leave them for me as always. And thanks for taking the time to watch, guys.